How do you deal with negativity? Love and compassion. You know, in every book, whether it be the Quran or, the Bible, it teaches about love. It teaches about loving one another, right? So this is a choice that you can make in life. We really can, right? So just be a decent human being. What I teach here is to, when I ask you or tell you or say to you or suggest to you, whatever you want to look at it, to meditate, it's because I'm trying to have you understand all you need is silence to hear your inner voice, to know what is right and wrong. And we lose sight of that. And we're back to Reclaim Your Energy. Today we are talking about this being a lifestyle versus, religion. So I've had a couple of comments trying to figure out, I don't know, I guess everybody has their own, and I don't know how to approach this because, when you talk about religion, when you talk about politics, it gets a little, the waters become, a little murky, but it's not. This here, to me, my preference on what religion I follow. So just for the viewers out there, it is Christianity. So I am a Christian. My kids are fully taught as Christians. Not that matters at all is what I want to emphasize. But what I'm doing here, by reclaiming your energy, it is 100% a lifestyle, right? So when we talk about this, we talk about you owning your power because as you can see, trying to force religion down somebody's throat or trying to, I'm right, you're right. It's honestly about you as a human being reclaiming your power and deciding on your own decisions that you want to make, right? So I find that, social media has a huge part, and I keep saying this, I use social media. It's not a bad thing. But a lot of people rely on it for facts, right? And you have to do your fact
checking, yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like it's like fact checking, but it's
fact
checking.
Facts.
Yeah,
it's all about the facts.
That it is, and that's what I'm trying to say. Why not? And here's not for nothing. Let's just throw this out there. So for everybody that assumes that let it be Muslim or Christian or Hindu. You be what you want to be and what suits you and resonates with you. That's not what I'm proclaiming here. What I'm trying to say here is change your mindset. That is key. When you change your mindset, shifts happen, right? You can be a Christian and be in a negative form and, treat people negatively. You can do the same thing as a Muslim. It's not the religion that makes you that. It is you as a human being that makes you that way. You have the choices in life to make that. To say that, oh, well, my religion made me do that, or, Facebook made me do that is wrong. And I wholeheartedly say that because in the end, I want to say this one more time. When people turn and tragedy happens and somebody turns and says, well, God did this. Why did God do this? God didn't do that. It was another human being, whether it be a shooting, it was another human being who chose to do that, right? And we need to look at facts for what they are, right? We can't make this about religion. We can't make this about, politics. It's you. You need to make the decision. You need to reclaim your power back, and you need to start making decisions for yourself. We just talked about love and compassion. How do you deal with negativity? Love and compassion. In every book, whether it be the Quran or, the Bible, it teaches about love. It teaches about loving one another, right? So this is a choice that you can make in life. We really can, right? So just be a decent human being. What I teach here is to, when I ask you or tell you or say to you or suggest to you, whatever you want to look at it, to meditate, it's because I'm trying to have you understand all you need is silence to hear your inner voice, to know what is right and wrong. And we lose sight of that. When you see, and I'm just going to put one example out there. When you see somebody getting hurt, and I've watched this on Facebook, and my mom was just talking about this yesterday. She can't watch when people beat up each other and then other people record it. Well, does that not make you an accomplice?
Yeah.
Like, how can you take out your phone and record somebody getting beaten to death and not stop? Did not Jesus stand in front of Mary Magdalene with a stone and say, cast the first stone if you are without sin? It's in the Bible. It's in the Quran. I'm pretty sure that there's stories out there, right?
Yeah,
and as humans, we need to make these decisions.
All these religions, all these books of the religions, they have stories. They have stories to showcase the truth. And every religion is they have their own story. It's
100%.
It's just a different character, a different person,
because,
whatever it is.
But that's what I'm trying to tell you. This is not a religion. This is a lifestyle. And if it's to teach somebody to be a decent human being, then this channel has served its purpose. Mm-hmm. I myself am honestly sad to watch what's going on in this world right now. And I don't know about anybody else out there, how they feel about it. But you have to see these things that happen. People are recording this and like they're not connected. They don't feel love for the other victim that's, taking a beating. They're desensitized, and it scares me. Like, it honestly scares me, where I don't want my kids growing up in this. So I try to teach my kids about love. I try to have them observe and understand situations, right? I try to do that, because all you need to do is stop and honestly, like 5 minutes, recenter yourself and look at the situation. You can't go with the motions. Like, people move like robots, and it's scary. So, I'm not saying anything, and I said this to you, I'm like, is this a topic I want to talk about? I do want to talk about it, because what I am doesn't matter. What resonates with me, being a Christian, is what resonates with me. So that doesn't matter to anybody else, right? Because even in religion, and, people will say, well, I was a Catholic, then I was a Christian. You know why I kept leaving different organizations? Because what I didn't take into account was there's a human that's leading the group, and that human has faults. And what I did was I blamed that human for the religious faults, and that's not right. So, I just try to live a decent life. That's it. I try to teach my kids, the right way. I try to, whatever resonates with me is what I'm going to teach my kids. But if my child comes back to me and says, well, this resonates with me, I'm going to accept them. That resonates with them, right? So we're here to love and accept everybody. We really are.
It can be difficult, especially nowadays. I mean, when you think about it, going back to what you're saying about negativity being out there, you turn on the TV and all you hear is all bad news.
Yeah.
Right? And somebody in there is making a choice to showcase that. They 100%. Have a half an hour news show, and they chose to show all of the negative, all the shootings and all 100%. The murders. And then there's at the end, there might be one of the shows that might put one nice story in there. And then it's like, okay, what do you expect from the world when your kids are being bombarded with all this negativity and all this stuff? And to go back to the point of religion, why are people, I agree, why do people blame religion to kind of say, oh, this happened because of X, Y, or Z religion? You're so right. It's the person.
No,
it's the individual.
It's the individual. Like, you could be, and people would say, well, they're brainwashed. Okay. But
somebody had to do it.
Somebody had to do it, but you had to, you chose that path. You have to take, when are people going to take accountability? When are you going to take accountability? No, let's just shift blame to everybody. I always say this, I swear, I will call you a shift blamer if you're a shift blamer. I made that word up, maybe a word. I don't even know. Comment below if it is a word. But anyways, I call shift blamers. Stop blaming other people for your problems. Stop. I get it. Everybody, whether it be a religion or a society or a cult or, when do we take accountability? When do we take accountability, right? When do we take accountability? Because honestly, this whole reclaim your energy was nothing to do with religion and what religion you stand for or any of that. You know what I mean? It had nothing to do with that. It was more about being awoken to what's being presented, from society. And it's true. If you turn on the news, go on Facebook, go on Instagram.
Yeah.
Now, because I've I've subscribed to all these positive, positive thoughts, positive. I get a lot of positive on my feed, right? You can do that.
That's an interesting thing you're saying, because I've said that many times to a lot of my clients, is like, oh, I only get this on my feed, or I only start.
Yeah.
Well, make that choice to change.
100%.
If you want to make that experiment, just go onto Facebook or go onto YouTube, whatever it may be, and start watching, movies about puppies or cats,
and it'll change.
It will slowly start.
Well, that's
changing,
what I do. I do the positive thoughts. But for me, I respect all religions out there. I respect them equally. I have nothing. There's no need to comment and be like, my religion's right, this religion's right. Follow this, follow that, follow this. This channel is all about humans, honestly, taking back their power. Take back your energy. Don't allow other people to take it for you. And if whatever religion resonates with you, God bless. I'm happy for you. You know what I mean? I'm not here to tell you what religion is right. That's not what I'm here to tell you. But if Christianity, resonates with you, I'm going to have that conversation with you. I will. But I'm not here to start, trying to convert everybody, because some religions haven't done, decency for a lot of people. Right. And it's the leaders. It's leaders that do that. And we need to know that, because I went from religion to religion. I did do that. I studied every religion out there. You know what I mean? But I'm telling you right now, it's the leaders that discouraged me from going to church. You know what I mean? It was the different leaders. And it's nothing bad. It is really nothing bad, because they were chosen to lead that group, and that's fine. But it didn't resonate with me. Right? So for me, it's like I need people to understand wholeheartedly about this channel. There's no religion based to this. This is a lifestyle, and you have a choice. You have a choice to be a decent human being. You have that choice, and you have a choice to reclaim your energy and your power back. And you can make decisions on your own, and you can love, you can show compassion, you can live a life full of joy. You can, and that's your choice. And I say that, rewrite your story. Rewrite your story. You're not happy today, rewrite it. Rewrite your story, and I'm going to be honest. For me, it's like, I tell my agents this all the time. I'm in an industry where mortgages right now is not the most positive thing. I just want you to know, everybody's rate shopping. It's the most negative. For me, it's like, oh yeah, in a drop of a hat, people aren't loyal. They're not. And that's okay, because that's what society has dictated. That's what my industry has dictated. And that's okay. But you know what? I'm not going to be bitter about it. I'm not. I'm going to get up and I'm going to continue to recruit. I'm going to continue to add people to my team. I'm going to continue to empower my team to get the best solutions for their clients. That's what I'm going to do. That's the choice I made. I didn't bow out of this industry. I'm facing it head on with a smile.
Does it have a bigger impact? Does the rate have a bigger impact, or does the person behind that helping hand, does that make a bigger difference, do you feel?
Honestly, Jamie, with what's happening in it's hard. Like, I would say about a couple of years ago, it wasn't as bad. It's an industry that is tough. This is a tough industry. So you want to talk about waking up to negativity? It's the story of my life. So, I don't sit here and just, when we put this podcast, this whole channel together, it was mainly that I'm not making money off this channel. I want to emphasize, because people might think, I'm making big bucks. I'm not. I'm actually just really trying to help, society make the right decisions. I want to empower people for them to make the right decisions, right? Whatever that looks for them. And I'll love you unconditionally. It doesn't even matter. Whatever you choose, I will love you unconditionally, regardless, right? And that's what I say here, here. I honestly, I get it. I come into the office with a smile. I come into the office ready to take on the world, because my story is written that way. I will succeed. I will live in joy, and I will be super happy. That's it. That's my story. And
what's the measure of success? I mean, that's the other question, right? Success for me is one thing. Success for you is another thing. And I think people start looking at successes as this person's success, and I want to be like that person. I feel like we need to calm down and feel what's good for us. Right? 100%.
It's whatever resonates with you. I talk about this, but that's why I say, meditation isn't, like meditating or, envisioning being successful. It's not a religion. It's a lifestyle. And I think people People need to just understand that. You know, that's my whole point in this whole podcast. Measuring success does not mean money. Measuring success is, you know, living, you know, and I want to tell you, great successes come with, you know, the smile on your child's face. That's for me.
Yeah.
You know, I'll tell you right now, Jamie, I took 3 hours to build a chalk. I did a chalk outside. I chalked on the sidewalk. I don't even know what you're calling it. I'm like, what is that? An obstacle course. So I did an obstacle course. It took me 3 hours for my kids. But the smile, like my knees were bruised. My hand was all cut up. But the smile on my child's face, you know what I mean? That is what I would like. That you couldn't replace the joy that I had. My kids played on that for like 2 days. You know, I have pictures. We can put pictures up about it. Like, I really worked hard on it, but I did it because it was for my kids. And my daughter was so excited at the door. She was like, can I come out? I'm like, no, I'm going to surprise you. That is not, there's no money in the world that can replace that smile. None. And I want my daughter, you know, if I can help anybody out there, I want experiences for my kids, for them to remember when, you know, they're older. I remember when my mom did this. I remember I'm hands-on with my kids. Right before, I would say 2 years ago, I wasn't hands-on because it was like, I was go, go, go. I need to make money. I need to ensure that the business is successful. If you look at the right things and you do the right steps and experiences for your kids, things will come easily. I don't pay attention as much as I used to. And our successes here have like tripled. And I'm more with my children. Like, I'm more out there, you know, with these experiences with my kids on the weekends, where I was working all the time on the weekends. I take 2 days with my kids and a lot has changed. So my thing is we talk about how do you measure success? You don't measure it by money. And it's not money. As much as people think it's money, it's not money. You know what I mean? It's the relationships. It's the, you know, how many connections I can make, loving connections, how much I can assist people. Because you know what I love about this job, and this is, I'm laying all my cards out, is helping my agents. And not like business-wise, because I can teach you about mortgages. That's no problem, right? Because I know I'm an expert in mortgages. But to help my agent through a tough situation personally, that is gratifying. That is huge. No amount of money can replace that. None. Because if I can assist my agent through their hardship, holding their hand and taking away some of their pain, that is what, you know, that's the measure of success. I've made it in life, right? And I do that. I can wholeheartedly say, tragedy hits with my agent, I'm next to them. I'm at the hospital with them. I'm holding their hand because I need to ensure they know that I care about them, right? And that's what I'm saying to you. This lifestyle taught me that. You know what I mean? It taught me that. It taught me loving, compassion. That's what it taught me, right? When I sit there and I actually think about it and I meditate and I think about and reconnect with myself, I know my heart. I live with my heart. I live through my heart. And that's what I want to do. Because, you know, anybody knows that. So.
No, it's interesting that you're saying that. And I'm thinking, you know, it's so unfortunate that a lot of people don't see it that way. And they're, they're
money driven.
They own these businesses, and it just becomes this addiction to money and value and material things. And only when they're in their deathbeds, that's when they go, oh my God, I never really cared for my kids or cared for my neighbor or cared 100%. For anybody. And that's when they're, you know, in those last moments, they start thinking, you know, because you hear these conversations, these stories all the time that, you know, once you're in your deathbed, that's when you start feeling like, oh man, I should have done this and I should have done that. Going back to what you're saying, we need to make that choice to do it now. I mean, there's
rewrite your story.
There's always a way.
Yeah, there is. I'll be honest with you. Reality check honestly hit when my dad passed away. I was the one holding his hand when he took his last breath. And I think for a couple of weeks, I was very bitter. I was mad. I was angry. But eventually that taught me, like I grew from that. And that taught me, it didn't matter that my dad was a Catholic, because in the end, a Catholic priest couldn't come do his final rites. It was a Christian priest that came to do it, right? Because there was something going on and this and that. And it was a Christian priest that came and read his last rites, right? If anybody knows about that. But that man helped me. He took me out of the room and he held me and he comforted me, right? So it wasn't that he was a pastor. It was the fact that he was a loving human being, right? And if I could, A, be a loving human being, or B, be a like distress in your life, I'm going to go with option A. But that's because I spent time with myself, right? How much time can you say that you spent with yourself, Jamie? Like how much, anybody out there, how much time do you spend with yourself? Oh, you go to church on Sunday for an hour. You go to Bible study for an hour. That's spending time with other people. But to wholeheartedly sit in prayer by yourself or meditation, whatever you want to call it, whatever makes you happy, but how much time can you say you spent with yourself?
Not
Except
enough.
when you're so when my dad was on his deathbed for 4 days, he couldn't talk to anybody. He had to spend time by himself. He had to sit there. He was in a coma, but I'm so certain that he knew what we were saying and doing, but he couldn't communicate with us. He was alone. So what's the fear? People fear being by themselves. Think about it, Jamie. Like we hear about this all the time. They don't want to be alone. Yeah. You know what I mean? But we need to learn to be alone, because in the end, we were born, as much as we came from our mother, we were born alone. We came through that tunnel alone, and we're going to die alone. So we need to learn to be by ourselves. We need to learn to accept who we are as individuals, and love and compassion serves purpose. So my whole theory, I'm telling you, I was an awakening from when my dad passed away to today. I watched him, and he said his first scare, he goes, I honestly did not see any of you guys standing by my bedside, and you guys all proved me wrong. So I'm ready to die. I'm ready to die because you know what? You guys all proved me wrong. He said that came from his mouth. So he was ready. You know what I mean? Because his legacy was done. He realized he built a legacy with 8 kids. You know what I mean? So that's why for me, it's like, I want to build a legacy, Jamie. And I love my team. I love every agent that works on my team. I treat them, they call me Mama Bear for a reason, because I do protect them. I protect everybody. You're in my center, you can guarantee I'm going to protect you, like guaranteed. So to me, it's like, regardless of what, people want to categorize this is not a religion. This is a lifestyle. And you need to choose if you want this lifestyle. You need to choose that, because eventually, you're going to have to spend time on your own. Eventually, it's going to happen. It may not happen for 30 years, but it's going to happen. So why not do it now? Why not get used to the idea? So.
All right.
All right.
There's a lesson right there.
This was awesome. Jamie, thank you so much for allowing me to speak about this. I know it was like an iffy topic, because you're going to get the comments, right? I have nothing.
It's okay.
I know. And I do want to mention one more time, before you hit that send, comment, whatever, I have nothing against any religion whatsoever. If it resonates with you, God bless. That's amazing. I'm happy for you. This is a lifestyle, not a religion.
But you can hit that subscribe button and that like and that.
Subscribe. All right, Jamie, you're awesome, man.
All right, you too. Take care.